allergic reaction.
To the food. This place sucks. Should we call a doctor?
No,
I know CPR.
Oh, I have to get him to the emergency room.
Okay, I'll come with you.
No, a cab won't stop for 4. You two stay here and settle the bill.
2002 was one of the strangest years in television history. Networks were desperate to recreate the magic of classic sitcoms, but instead of lightning striking twice, what audiences got was a wave of awkward ideas, recycled formulas, and shows that barely had time to unpack their bags before getting canceled.
What are you doing?
Taking a 5-minute break.
Coming over to the dark side, huh?
Actually, I am just downloading some logos, but if it makes you feel any better, I am now...
This was the era when TV executives were throwing anything at the wall and hoping anything would stick. Talking babies, confusing reboots, experimental formats, and sitcoms that didn't seem to know who they were mated to air, and then vanished almost immediately. Some of these shows had big stars. Some had strong writers. Some even had decent ideas, but none of them survived. So today, we're digging up the sitcom graveyard of 2002 10 shows that premiered with hopes of success, only to flop hard, fade fast, or leave viewers wondering how they ever got greenlit in the first place. Number 10, The Random Years UPN.
Hi, I'm Casey Parker.
Hi, I'm Wiseman. Quick question. What do you think of Sexy Sheets?
Could you not stand so close to me?
Premiering on March 5th, 2002, The Random Years aired on UPN, a network that was still trying to figure out its identity at the time. The show followed 3 college friends who had just graduated and were now struggling through that awkward post-college phase of life: bad jobs, messy relationships, and the fear that adulthood wasn't turning out the way they imagined. On paper, the setup felt familiar, maybe too familiar. You had...
Please tell me that's 12 vegetable soup on the stairs? Wiseman, you're never gonna guess who called. Mr. Miller, our middle school gym teacher. No.
The awkward guy, the smooth womanizer, and the relatable everyman, all living together in a spacious New York apartment they definitely couldn't afford. Most of the humor revolved around dating disasters, immature arguments, and vague career ambitions.
The problem?
Alex, I'm really starting to feel that old feeling again. How about you?
It's hard to describe what I'm feeling right now.
By 2002, audiences had already seen this exact formula done better. Shows like Friends and Living Single had perfected the roommates in New York concept years earlier. Compared to those, The Random Years felt like a watered-down imitation with no real personality of its own.
Been working for 45 minutes straight. You are way overdue for a break.
Actually, I expected to be a little further along, but somebody spilled chocolate milk on my to-do list.
7 episodes were produced, but only 4 ever aired before UPN quietly pulled the plug due to low ratings. Critics labeled it bland, predictable, and overloaded with sitcom cliches. The show disappeared so quickly that most viewers never even realized it existed. Number 9, Imagine That, NBC. NBC premiered Imagine That in January of 2002, and it vanished almost instantly. The show starred Hank Azaria as Josh Miller, a successful comedy writer whose vivid imagination constantly interrupted his real life. The gimmick was simple but risky. Viewers could see Josh's elaborate daydreams play out in exaggerated fantasy sequences. These moments were meant to reflect his fears, frustrations, and creative impulses. It was a high-concept idea with a strong lead actor, but the execution didn't land. NBC produced 13 episodes, yet only 2 episodes ever made it to air. That's how fast the network lost confidence. Audiences barely had time to process what the show was even about before it was removed from the schedule. The biggest issue was identity. The show couldn't decide if it wanted to be a quirky adult comedy, a heartwarming family sitcom, or a surreal sketch-style series. Instead of blending those tones smoothly, Imagine That became an awkward mix of all 3, and none of it truly worked. Number 8, Hidden Hills, NBC.
Mrs. Gray, she's proud today because her roses are in bloom.
Premiering in September 2002, Hidden Hills attempted suburban satire before shows like Desperate Housewives would later perfect the genre. Set inside a gated suburban community, the sitcom followed 2 couples navigating gossip, parenting, marriage problems, and awkward social situations.
A husband who yearns for a physical relationship and a wife who has lost interest. But now there is evidence that this is a medically treatable condition.
At its core, the show tried to balance edgy humor with heartfelt family moments. It starred Justin Louis and Paula Marshall as a seemingly normal couple surrounded by eccentric neighbors and uncomfortable suburban drama.
Honey, please. Your test on stage was last week. You can forget it all now.
Hello?
Oh, hi.
Can you hang on? My mom's picking up Derek after soccer practice, but I need you to pick him up from her place after you pick up the shirts for the girls' softball team, and then help.
13 episodes were produced, and surprisingly, all of them aired. But despite that full run, the show failed to leave an impact. Critics described it as pleasant but forgettable, while audiences never fully connected. The problem was tone. Hidden Hills was...
There can be some side effects for the woman. An increase in body mass, even facial hair.
Too risque for traditional family sitcom fans. Too tame to stand out as edgy adult comedy. It lived in an uncomfortable middle ground and slowly faded away by early 2003, leaving barely a ripple behind. Number 7, In-Laws, NBC.
I am so excited. Do you realize you were the first non-pellet to ever go apple picking with us? It means you're becoming part of the family.
Oh, good, because I felt that marrying you and moving in with your parents was too subtle.
NBC debuted In-Laws on September 24th, 2002, clearly hoping to cash in on the popularity of Meet the Parents. The premise was straightforward. A newly married man moves into his wife's childhood home to save money, only to be terrorized by her overbearing ex-cop father. Dennis Farina played the intimidating father-in-law, bringing the same tough presence he was known for in dramatic roles. Elon Gold portrayed the anxious son-in-law, while Bonnie Somerville and Jean Smart rounded out the family dynamic. 15 episodes were produced, but only 14 aired before NBC canceled the show. Despite heavy promotion, loud commercials, and clear effort from the network, the sitcom never quite clicked. It had moments of genuine humor, especially when Farina leaned into his dry, intimidating charm, but it wasn't enough to stand out in an already overcrowded sitcom market. Number 6, Baby Bob, CBS.
I need this. It has been such a huge adjustment for me, giving up my career to be with the baby full-time. Don't get me wrong. I love being home with Bob. I wouldn't trade this time for anything, but you have no idea what it is like being cooped up all day with no one to talk to.
Yes, Baby Bob was exactly what it sounds like. Premiering on March 18th, 2002, the CBS sitcom centered around a married couple who discover that their 6-month-old baby can talk like a fully grown adult, and not just talk, but deliver sarcastic one-liners. The character wasn't new. Baby Bob originally appeared in commercials for freeinternet.com, and somehow CBS decided that was enough reason to build an entire sitcom around him. 14 episodes were produced, but only 9 aired. Critics were brutal. Viewers were uninterested. TV Guide later ranked Baby Bob among the worst TV shows of all time. After the sitcom failed, the character resurfaced in commercials again, most memorably as a Quiznos mascot, because apparently nothing boosts appetite like a creepy talking baby. Number 5, Family Affair, WB.
Tuesday at 3, you have a trustees meeting at New York University. Wednesday evening is dinner with Miss Wagner. Oh, I forgot. Your sister from Indiana called yesterday.
Premiering on September 12, 2002, Family Affair was a glossy remake of the beloved 1966 sitcom. The original ran for 5 successful seasons, but television had changed a lot in 35 years. This updated version starred Gary Cole as Uncle Bill and Tim Curry as the iconic Mr. French. Curry gave it his all, but even his energy couldn't save the show. The jokes felt outdated, the chemistry was off, and the tone couldn't decide whether it wanted to be heartfelt family comedy or self-aware parody. 15 episodes were produced, but only 13 aired before the WB quietly canceled it. Critics dismissed it as unnecessary, and audiences agreed. Number 4, that 80s show, Fox.
When you said you wanted to see other people, I didn't know that meant not me.
I should have been more specific.
Fox premiered That 80s Show on January 23, 2002, hoping to ride the success of That 70s Show. Despite sharing creative talent behind the scenes, it wasn't a true spin-off, and that confused audiences immediately. 13 episodes were produced, but the show lasted just one season. Viewers constantly compared it to its predecessor, and it came up short in writing, character depth, and humor. A small silver lining? The show featured a young Glenn Howerton years before It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Number 3, Bram and Alice, CBS.
In my living room, these two Nancy boys are always bickering with each other. Must be coming from someplace else. Whoa! I'm seeing double, but I'm feeling single.
Bram and Alice premiered on October 6, 2002. The show followed a young writer who discovers her estranged father is a washed-up novelist living off past fame. 9 episodes were produced, but only 4 aired. CBS barely promoted it, and the remaining episodes wouldn't air until 2010. Despite strong writing talent behind the scenes, the show never found an audience. Number 2, Wednesday 9:30, 8:30 Central, ABC.
A little too obvious.
Yeah. What did he say?
I'm sure he'll tell you when the time's right. For now, let's just have fun. Big F, big U. Little N.
Yes, that was the actual title. Premiering on March 27, 2002, this workplace comedy focused on a struggling TV network. It was meant to be satirical and self-aware, but instead felt like an inside joke viewers weren't invited to. Only 3 episodes aired before cancellation. The remaining episodes were burned off quietly later. Number 1, Watching Ellie, NBC. When Watching Ellie premiered on February 26, 2002, expectations were sky high. Julia Louis-Dreyfus was returning to television after Seinfeld. The original format followed her character in real time, without a laugh track. It was bold and ahead of its time. Ratings dropped fast. The show was pulled, later retooled into a traditional sitcom, but it was too late. 17 episodes were produced in total, yet the show never found its identity. In hindsight, Watching Ellie wasn't bad, just born in the wrong era. So those are 10 sitcoms from 2002 that failed fast and faded even faster. Let me know in the comments, did you actually watch any of these? Or are they all just forgotten TV experiments?
Thanks for watching.